What's up, dudes? Xena here. I'm here with Lane and Gerald, and we're actually going over some of the E3 conferences. We actually have 3 different videos, but mine primarily is going to be over Bethesda. So the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I am a huge fan of Fallout. You can ask any of my friends. I have Fallout stuff literally everywhere. It's dear to my heart. I've been playing it since I was 10 years old. Fallout 3, I grew up with that. And Fallout 4 was okay. But they have the new release of Fallout 76, which is based off of Vault 76. I have so many mixed emotions on this as a loyal Bethesda fan and Fallout fan, as it's been released and confirmed that it is going to be entirely online. And I'm not really somebody that ever saw the Fallout games as playing with other people, especially like in a huge like MMO style. And it's just, I know that they say that, oh, you can play it by yourself, but God Howard himself even said you can play it by yourself, but the easiest way to survive in the wastelands is with other people. So it's obviously pushing to be multiplayer.
It's like with Sim City, where it's like you kind of need, because that whole you need to be online thing really threw me through a loop kind of thing. Because it's like, you know, what if I just want to play it and I just want to kind of enjoy the world? It's like, but even then, if I do play solo, you said yourself there will be no. We didn't say there's no NPCs, but it's like all the characters are playable characters. Yeah. Which gives the implication that there's NPCs, but you didn't explicitly say that.
Yeah, so what is it going to mean if you want to play it by yourself? Like, you can say that about any game, even Elder Scrolls Online. You don't have to play with other people. But if supposedly all the characters are going to be real people, then how exactly are you going to play with yourself?
Yes.
Sorry,
I'll figure out. I'm going to answer your question with a lot of lube. Secondly.
Degenerates.
Secondly, one of the main things about when they talk about 76 and all that was like how they talked about the servers, and it's like you never see a server select screen.
Yeah,
which is
I
like,
don't understand
that's kind of
that.
cool, but it's like, you know, there's only going to be dozens of dozens, not hundreds of thousands, because, you know, it's an apocalypse, not an amusement park, and
I can
something
appreciate
like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, how is that going to work exactly? Because there are millions of people who are going to play this.
And like, if there's no NPCs and there's just dozens at most in the map total.
Like, first of all, how many servers will you be willing to have?
I think everybody has their own server.
But then what's the point? Of having that whole dozens of people kind of thing? Because how are they going to incorporate that?
I don't see how this is going to work.
That's kind of thing. Unless, like, if I can be able to see the servers, then yeah, that's a whole thing. But you said to yourself, we're not going to see the servers, which means by assumption they're going to take care of all of that. So all you got to do is log in and then just wait a bunch, and then it'll take care of it from there.
And nuke your friends.
Yeah, I'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll get back to that here in a
But it's
second.
just with the whole server thing. It didn't really click to me, because it's like, okay, I see what you guys are trying to do. You're trying to make it seem like an actual apocalypse. You're trying to make it to where, you know, me and my friends can get together and, you know, build stuff and then take down and create our own stories, kind of like with Minecraft or whatever. But, you know, it seems unrealistic. I don't see how they're going to be able, especially because day one, this is going to be absolute hell.
Yeah, everyone servers can even crash.
Like, it's kind of like with
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky and I was thinking more Pokemon Go with how like the first day service was just complete trash, because they had this idea, but they weren't realistically ready to handle that many players.
Yeah, and I don't think that,
to be fair, it was more than they thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
but like with Fallout at this point, they know how many they got.
Yeah.
They have a good idea of how many people are going to play this, which means they have to have enough servers to be able to facilitate. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do the math. Let's say there's like 5 million people, right? And you say there's gonna be
500,000.
Yeah, okay, thank you. 500 million.
Why would there be 500 million?
Okay, look. Okay, 5 million people.
Okay.
They said there's gonna be dozens and dozens of people. So let's say
I'll play it. 5 million and one.
Let's say 72.
No, I would say more like divided by like 30 something.
Yeah, probably 36.
Yeah, probably.
I'll be generous. I'll say 48.
Okay.
When they mean dozens, they mean 3 dozens.
Which means they would need, at minimum, 104,667 servers. And that's not, that's us being generous.
And
With
that's
how
just
many
for
people?
That's
one
just plain
game.
servers. All these servers are going to have so much to them so that the game runs correctly.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to get back to stuff on that, as I have my reasons why I think it'll be a complete failure at first.
No, it's just because you're going to be pushing people. Because, like, if it's going to be day one, people aren't going to be getting servers. People are going to think, oh, this is trash. And it's going to push out new players, which means only the most dedicated people are going to stick around until all those people leave. Yeah, exactly. Those that are late, they're basically going to be, they may make a big profit like day one and maybe that first week, but the player retention will be very low. Kind of thing.
Again, like I said, like one of my main problems was that, oh yeah, I could play by myself, but again, no mentions of NPCs. So I will be forced to play with other people. But then that also but then that makes me think, I think back to Ark when I think of this, like watching Justin play. How are they gonna keep alpha servers or alpha crowds from coming in, completely taking over the different places? And two, how are you gonna, like, where are you gonna get your resources from?
It's a lot of algorithm, because like at one hand you're taking away that thing to where people can't just go into low level people and then just bomb the ever-loving crap out of them and make their playing experience miserable. But at the same time, what algorithms do you have in line to say, like, okay, this player is more high level, so we want to put them up with more high level people, or this person really just started, so we need to put them in an easy, server kind of thing, and then people in the middle and all. Like, how is the matchmaking going to really work?
I mean, it won't at first. Pure, simply, like, it just plain out won't.
One of the big questions that I had about it was, okay, so if everyone's basically going to have like their own server, how are they going to moderate it to where it's only going to be a few dozens? And then I thought maybe it's going to be just like within your area. But what if you're somebody who's like out in the middle of nowhere and there's just no one there?
It's like,
then you're just kind of screwed.
It's like if
you're like with Pokemon Go, you're fucked.
It's like, it's cool with tech, because even if you live in a rural area, you live close enough to a big city to be considered like that. But if you live somewhere like in Nebraska or Tennessee or something like that, in the middle of it's just I live in Prairie View when I'm not here. I go to school at Prairie View, which is pretty much, it's gonna take you a long time to get anywhere. We're not really considered Houston exactly. So it's like, what about it's like what are you gonna do about me kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I live in the big city, things would be a lot easier for me, but at the same time, what if, like, there's only meant to be so many people, but then you're in an area where there's hundreds and hundreds? How are they going to make sure that none of those crash to where then all the servers are going to go down?
It's like, I know we're on this point a lot, but that's because this is a point that is just...
It's how the game's going to work.
And it's like there's problems and it's easy to nitpick.
Yeah,
it's just... Unfortunately, I want to be a little optimistic and say maybe it might work a little bit, but it's like it probably won't.
Fix it fast, but I doubt it.
It's just there's so many problems with it that you can pick up. I don't think old dude, whatever his name is, I don't know, he looked like a douche to me.
Howard.
God Howard.
Yeah, I don't like how they treat him like he's God or whatever. He's a dude that made a game. Calm down.
Oh my god. He also made Skyrim. Let's not forget about that. They obviously won't let us.
He's not Nintendo. just gonna stop you right there.
Even then, with the Nintendo guy, whatever his name is, I mean, I have respect for him, sure, but he's not some big dude.
He died.
Yeah, he's died. Yeah, whatever. He's dead. Whatever. Look.
Like a few years ago.
Oh yeah, no.
It's just the point is just when it comes. I know I'm getting on a tangent, but it's just I didn't like in that things of how they kept pretty much, patting him on the back and giving him hugs with every little thing he said. Just like, oh, we love you, woo! And guess what? This game is gonna do da da da. It's like people. I don't know.
One of my other big things about it is another reason why I think this is gonna completely crash. It's gonna be 4 times bigger than Fallout 4, so it's probably actually just going to be a lot of arena areas and campsites, which I'll explain the campsites soon.
It's still no Breath of the Wild.
It's supposed to be 16 times the details from Fallout 4. So
I
that's
doubt that.
like 16 times the rendering.
They're selling that. Like, that's just the whole problem with
God,
this in
Howard
general.
would never lie to us. How dare.
Oh yes.
I'm pretty sure they've lied about the entire game. But okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No.
it's just that's the whole thing with the game. Because it's like I want to get
too
it.
good to be true, and it won't work. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
thing.
just. It's like I want. No, don't get me wrong. We're not wishing this game death or anything. At least as far as I'm concerned, I want this game to work. I want it to work, and I want it to be, open a whole new possibility and set a standard for other games and all that. But at the same time, come on, dude. 4 times bigger with like 1,200,000 servers or whatever. It just, a whole thing seems ambitious but unrealistic. It's not
like No Man's Sky, like what I said.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
not gonna
so
work.
now let's talk about how the gameplay will actually be. There's going to be 2 different types, PvP and then PvE. So the things about that is each person can gang up or be on their own, and then you have these portable campsites, which from what I've seen, the campsites don't make anything you're proud of, don't make anything that you're attached to, because that shit will easily be destroyed either by like tank looking hoes or by neighbor hoes who come over and want to shoot you in the head and take your stuff.
Damn it, Johnny.
Johnny's a jerk, and I know. But like, what do you mean PvP versus PvE?
PvP is player versus player, the PvE is player versus environment.
Okay, I'm about to.
On the bright side, though, there's no NPCs, so...
I don't want to die!
Degenerates.
But that was one of the things that he showcased, is that, you can have this big, like, extravagant camp, but then, like I said, like, this tank-looking hoe could come in, which is, like, this big monster that he could just easily come in and destroy the entire thing. And
like
then...
Left 4 Dead.
And then, again, they added in a new part where they allowed us to have, I think, 5 to 6 different nuclear missiles with spread out codes that anyone can get a hold of. So basically, any dickhole can just grab a hold of all the different codes and then blast some random guy's city, and there he goes.
I just love the ramifications of this. Like, there's no possible way this is gonna end well.
And it's just like, how long is that? Is that like a permanent effect, or is it like, is this gonna happen and this is just like for the rest of the day kind of thing?
Actually...
Just imagine if you're just like some new person just starting the game, you jump in, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the town, get supplies. Then you look up, and there's a fucking nuke dropping on you right after you start the game.
Actually,
And
to
just
answer...
like, nah, I'm done. I'm done playing.
And
this.
then now that I think about it, it's like we talked about how it looked like some of the people were transformed. Did
Yeah.
people control that, or
I don't know, but on the whole part, to answer Joe's question, I need to do a little bit of lore about the game. Sorry about to nerd out on y'all guys.
It's okay.
So this is actually going to be a prequel. It opens 25 years after the bombs fell, and so that's what they're celebrating. So the thing about that is the first Fallout takes place about 100 years after everything, and then so it goes on. And so one of the things that I actually liked about the nukes was that if it is that, it's permanent destruction, I actually think that's really creative and lore friendly, because the wasteland slowly declines. It gets worse and worse as it goes on. So I'd actually like to see it like stay like that. But then it kind of adds the question, well, are the nukes, like, are they going to respawn? Like come
would it
back?
be respawn? What is that going to mean for new players? Like, if it stays permanent, is it going to be too late? Because if I go in the server, is it already going to be like a nuclear wasteland? And it's like, okay, I missed my chance.
It already was, yeah.
Yeah, it was like,
I mean, you kind of can't. It's already a wasteland, so I doubt it'll do that much more damage.
A cool thing that I kind of just thought of, it was another lore part, is that, so this is supposed to take place before even super mutants became a thing. Super mutants were actually due to testing, which comes back to Vault 76, is that one of the people in there, one of the residents, actually became the guy who became poisoned by like the nuclear waste and went crazy. So he ended up making the super mutants. So what if it was like, I know it probably will more than likely not be a thing, but it'd be kind of cool if like while y'all are playing, maybe he's like one of the NPCs or whatever, and he ends up turning like players or whoever into those super mutants, starting the super mutant like plague that happens throughout
And
the
maybe
wasteland.
they can choose to do such a thing.
Yeah, like that'd be really cool. Let's see, what was another thing about it? Oh yeah, like how he called it soft survival, like softcore.
What does that mean?
Well, okay,
It's
so
not hardcore.
he was talking about how the hardcore survival was in the other games, and it all goes based off of you basically are a human. You have to eat, you have to drink, and all these sort of things. The monsters get harder, everything's like so much harder. And what I think he means by the softcore survival is just the whole player versus player aspect and like player versus environment. That it's not going to be as easy as the other games where you can just run around and like shoot everyone's head off and like easily run around the creatures. Is that you actually have challenges that are going to be ahead of you.
Okay.
And
That sounds okay. That's because like it sounds pretty good. I know one thing that I thought about. It's kind of like me not being super into Fallout, but that's one thing that I know about. That whole vets, you know, when things slow down.
Oh,
is that gonna
vets.
be? Yeah, is that gonna be in the game, or is like if so, how is that going to work? Because I'm pretty sure they're not gonna slow down time to make everybody slows down. That's impossible. That's either possible or just frankly annoying.
Maybe it's within like a radius.
I don't know, because VATS had progressed all throughout the games. Like in Fallout 3, it completely paused. It stopped time. In Fallout 4, it just slowed down. So I actually don't see VATS being a thing in Fallout 76.
Considering that this is before those timeline-wise, you'd have less technology at your hands.
Well, then again, Batman Origins was before all of that, and he had a weapon that he never used in the 2 games. So you know.
Okay, so this is something that actually angers me and that I keep seeing is that, so there's all kinds of different Pip-Boys, all different styles, anywhere from the first one to the 3000. And one thing that really irritates me is that they're all supposed to be made in the same timeline. So how can you keep like upgrading them to where they become like the Pip-Boy 3000? Because like, let's say VATS depended on the Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
Because no one knows what VATS really depends on or how you can do it.
Yeah.
So let's say, to make it lore friendly, it depends on the Pip-Boy. You literally have the first style Pip-Boy whenever you open it up. So whenever he's like the main character or whatever, or you in the trailer, you grab your Pip-Boy, it's obviously one of the much downgraded ones. So it probably would make sense that VATS wouldn't be a thing.
Okay. It's like, I don't know, because that's just kind of a thing I thought about, and I know that there's some people in the comments like talking about where's VATS and all that.
That's, like I said, if they wanted to keep it lore friendly, which Bethesda's not known for doing too well, that's my theory about it. But
okay, that makes sense, I guess.
yeah.
I suppose.
So I think we totally said everything we needed about 76, right? We're already beating the dead horse here.
Real quick,
Yeah.
just imagine doing a ton of hard work for like months, building up your city, making things perfect, and then someone fucking nukes it.
And that's kind of the main thing. Like, that's kind of the main thing about that and just games like art. Just like, I don't want to do all that work for just some butthole to come in and tear it down.
We'll see, like, and then
And it's
it
like,
goes...
it's weird. Because it's like, I want to have stuff that's like, I take pride. Anybody who like follows me and all that knows that I do take pride in what I make. Kind of thing. So it's like, I don't know. It's like it's like I don't want to work so hard on something just for it to be torn down. But at the same time, I see the appeal. I see the appeal of it. I see the appeal of always like starting over and always, you know, making it to a where nobody can really mess with it unless they really come for you.
One of the things I actually really liked about it, again, goes back to the lore. It's kind of like the only places that you see in Fallout, like the major places, are the places that have kept getting rebuilt and just had strong populations. So I actually think it's kind of really cool that you have this camp that you have to run around with and that you can't just keep place because, you know, you're some of the first people out there. There's no cities. Like, Megaton's not a thing yet. Tiffany Tower, all these places aren't there yet. No one's inhabited them. So it's really y'all that are making the wasteland. So there's a lot of trial and error, which I thought was really cool because it would take, like, tens to, like, even hundreds of years to even make settlements, which you see in the Fallout game.
And I guess it's just kind of like you could get friendly with people, like say, "Oh, I like this person. You know, instead of fighting, I'm gonna try to join your city, see if I can help you out a little bit."
Just do the whole crouch.
So I like
Friendly.
I like that whole idea of like, I do really like the idea of like you have this blank slate, and like in each of these little servers is like a different version of this blank slate to where people can make it to what they want, and it's just a collective idea. I mean, of course, you're gonna have buttholes and all that. I don't know how you're gonna deal with that, but that's just the reality. There's gonna be people who get strong and they're gonna want to abuse their power to abuse other players and all that. That's just how it is.
Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up was it's obvious that mods are not going to be supported. So I don't doubt that there's going to be a lot of, like, in-game paying, like, creation club. Like,
and it's an online multiplayer game. I kind of expected like there's gonna be some type of payment system.
Yeah, but going back to the clean slate, like, honestly, I think if people don't see it as, oh, it's so barren, there's nothing for me to do, if you see it as based off of the lore, like, you are the first people to walk these wastelands, you're the first people to see what's been happening, and you are, like, the first inhabitants, maybe you can see it and play it in a different way to where you want to build up these cities.
You know what?
You won't get so upset about it if it crashes down.
It's like, you know what? It's like, I wasn't really into it, but now that I'm actually talking about it and conversating, I think I may actually want to get it just to try it.